There's a strange kind of loneliness that only arrives when someone finally looks at you. Not the solitude of empty rooms, but the hush that falls when the spotlight hits. Your face warms, your chest tightens, and a familiar question ghosts through your ribs. Now that you see me, will you stay? You smile. You perform the practiced self. They clap. And somehow, while you're being seen, you vanish. Tonight we're naming that paradox, the ache that blossoms under attention. We're going to map why visibility can feel like exposure, why care can register as danger, and how to meet closeness without losing yourself. I'll begin with a story, then we'll zoom out into the deeper patterns and end with steps gentle enough for tomorrow morning. Being seen isn't the antidote to loneliness, being met is. There's a moment at the birthday dinner when everyone turns as the cake arrives. The server sets it down, the phone flashlights float, and your name is a chant. You make the face you've learned to make, modest, grateful, a pinch of irony to prove you're cool with attention. Your friends mean well. You are loved here, but your throat squeezes. You wish the lights would dim. At work, your manager praises you in the meeting. They carried this project. Everyone nods. Eyes land. Your stomach drops. You smile bigger to keep your hands from shaking. Later, alone in the bathroom mirror, you feel hollow, as if the compliment scraped something raw on its way in. In new romance, it's softer but sharper. They say, "I like the way you think." You want to receive it. Your body, however, flips the switches, heart up, breath shallow, a sudden urge to change the subject or make a joke. You say something deflecting, then hate yourself for it in the cab home. Here's the quiet truth. Visibility should feel like connection, but to you it feels like an X-ray. Love feels like a scanner. Compliments feel like a quiz. Instead of "I see you," your nervous system hears, "Prove it." So you perform, dazzle, disappear, then go home to a loneliness so private it doesn't even have words. If you've ever wished you could accept kindness without flinching, if good attention still rattles your bones, if you've ever felt most alone exactly when people notice you, this is your episode. In the comments, tell me the first moment you remember shrinking under praise, or the last time affection felt like a test. Your story will help someone else name theirs. Being looked at is not the same as being known. Visibility is optical, intimacy is relational. One can happen without the other. When you grew up in spaces where attention was conditional, be impressive, be helpful, be quiet, be cute, you learned that being seen required an exchange. You perform, they approve. You deviate, they withdraw. Over time, your body learned a crude equation. Attention, sacre, evaluation. So even safe attention trips the same circuit. A friend's "you did great" enters your ear, but lands like "keep being useful." Your system isn't wrong. It's outdated. It isn't reading the current room. It's reading the old one. Think of your nervous system as a neighborhood that once had frequent break-ins. You installed extra locks, motion sensors, bright floodlights. The lights made you feel safe until the day a kind neighbor shows up at 7 p.m. with soup. The floodlights blast, the alarms blare, your body registers threat. Nothing's wrong with soup. Something is unresolved about night. Attention can feel like those lights, bright, revealing, sudden. Praise, curiosity, love, anything that brings you into focus, triggers your exposure alarm. That alarm was wise once. The loneliness now is that your system won't let the neighbor in. Many of us learn to audition for connection. The good grades kid, the reliable helper, the amusing storyteller, the quiet one who never needed anything. If your family had unspoken rules, we don't talk about feelings. Dad's mood controls the room. Be strong or get ignored. You discovered roles that kept you close-ish. The role worked. Role not access. But roles are costumes. The longer you wear one, the more being seen means seeing the costume. Compliments often target the costume. "You're so strong, you're so independent," which feels like praise and erasure at once. They see the armor, the person inside longs to be held. There's a specific nutrition we crave and rarely name: mirroring. Not applause, not critique. The gentle reflection that says, "I'm with you. I see what you feel. I sense your edges, I won't push." Infants develop a stable sense of me by having expressions met and matched, not perfectly, just reliably. Many of us missed enough of that. We got achievement mirrors or crisis mirrors instead. So we grew skilled at attracting light, wit, competence, kindness, beauty, but our cells still lacked the slower food. Every spotlight felt like sunlight, but didn't hydrate. After the show, we were thirsty again. That thirst, shoved underground, becomes a kind of shame. Why am I still lonely when people like me? Because what you needed wasn't liking, it was landing. One of the cruelest teachers in love is the push-pull rhythm: warmth and distance, praise and silence, attention and disappearance. It trains the nervous system to chase intermittent reward wires, persistence and fantasy. You got a "you're amazing" once, then 3 weeks of nothing. You filled the blank with labor. Solve yourself, improve, shrink, glow, anything to earn the next crumb. When someone later gives steady attention, your body doesn't recognize it as edible. You doubt it, test it, break it, or bail. Familiar hunger feels safer than unfamiliar fullness. So you keep returning to the rhythm that wounds you because it is legible. Beneath the exposure alarm is an older belief. The real you is too much or not enough. Shame doesn't argue with facts. It edits memory. It catalogues moments when you were loud, needy, petty, awkward, and whispers, "That's the truth." So when someone leans in, shame hisses, "Mask up." You give the best, brightest, safest version. They love it. Their love doesn't land because it wasn't aimed at you. Loneliness grows not in the absence of attention, but in the gap between who is seen and who is held. Compliments to a shame-trained body can feel like commitments you haven't signed. "You're so strong," corrals you into strength. "You're brilliant," locks you into output. "You're beautiful," handcuffs you to a face you can't control. No wonder you crack a joke. Deflection is a little door back to freedom, but every deflection teaches your people to stop trying. Compliments don't hurt because they are wrong. They hurt because they aim at a performance you're tired of maintaining. You long for reflections that are specific, present tense, and relational. I felt calmer when you walked in. I love how you let silence breathe when I talk. When you looked away just now, I wondered if something got tender. You may think, "Fine, I'll avoid spotlights." And sometimes that's wisdom. But notice the deeper pattern. You feel lonely in public because you're performing. You feel lonely in private because you're withholding. The common denominator isn't the room, it's the self-abandonment. The antidote isn't more people or fewer people. The antidote is more you, brought to places that can hold you. Healing doesn't turn you into the person who loves all eyes on them. Healing makes you someone whose heart rate doesn't spike when love enters. It makes praise a warm towel, not a metal clamp. It makes your no simple and your yes honest. It trades the fireworks of being impressive for the lamplight of being known. It is slower, it is steadier. And yes, at first it's uncomfortable, because quiet safety has no plot twist. Let's design a path that respects your body's wisdom and retrains it gently. The moment you feel that spotlight squeeze, heat in the face, stomach drop, urge to deflect, whisper, "Exposure response." Language lowers the lights. It tells your body, "This is familiar, not fatal." Add one descriptive sentence. "Kindness arrive faster than I can metabolize." That's not drama, that's pacing. Instead of forcing yourself to swallow whole compliments, break them into sips. When someone says, "You did amazing," respond with 3 words. "Thank you." Staying. By staying, You mean you will remain in your body for 2 breaths after the compliment. Eyes soften, jaw unclenches, exhale longer than you inhale. 2 breaths is an eternity for a nervous system. Do this for 1 week before trying any deeper receiving. With one safe person, try this script. I'm practicing being met, not just seen. Could you reflect back something specific you felt being with me today? Many people want to love you better. They just need a map. Specific relational reflections feed you more than global praise. They also create a loop. You give them a mirror too. Mutual mirroring is how loneliness dissolves in ordinary rooms. You don't go from flinching to TED Talk. Choose small rooms. Tell a short truth to a friend before saying it on a date. Share a need in a text before voice. Post to a close friends list before the main feed. Your exposure alarm needs reps where nothing bad happens. Track them in a notes app. Told Sam I was tired. He said, "Rest, I've got it." Heart rate eased in 40 seconds. Data quiets doubt. Write the covert agreement you've been living under. If I'm impressive, I will be kept. If I never inconvenience anyone, I will be safe. Then write a new, boring contract. If I'm honest, the right people will remain. Hang it where your eyes land when you wake up. Boring contracts build beautiful lives. Practice the lines you need when attention feels like pressure. Thank you for the kind words. I need a second. I appreciate the compliment. Can we slow down? Boundaries aren't barriers. They are pacing devices. They allow goodness to arrive at a temperature you can absorb. You will deflect again. You will overperform again. You will leave a room buzzing and go home empty. When that happens, do not call it failure. Call it feedback. Ask, where did I disappear? Then practice returning in the smallest possible way. A text that says, I realized I made a joke when you were being kind. That mattered to me. Thank you. Repair is intimacy's native language. If any of this steadied you, save this video for the days your spine forgets. You're not starting from zero. You're starting from here. Here's the turn. You thought you were bad at being seen. You were just overtrained at being impressive. You thought you were allergic to praise. You were just starving for mirrors. You thought love was a spotlight. Turns out it's a lamp someone leaves on because they want you to find your way back. You won't fix this by becoming louder. You'll heal it by becoming truer, by letting attention arrive at the speed your body trusts. Some people will prefer your costume. Let them miss you. The ones who love your voice will wait through your pauses. They'll learn your edges. They'll set their cups down when you look away. Subscribe if you want more gentle, honest maps like this. From being watched to being with. From performance to presence. From spotlight loneliness to lamplight home.